Welcome to the Gaggle, where we talk politics in Arizona and elsewhere. This week, is the filibuster busted, and Secretary of State Michele Reagan, is she going to show us the money? But Ron, let's start where everything starts, with President Trump. You took a look at which members of Arizona's congressional delegation have been friendliest to his agenda, and what did you find?
In a bit of a surprise, we found that Martha McSally, who's in one of the more competitive districts in the country, and Jeff Flake, who's going to be in one of the tougher Senate races in the country next year, that they were two of the more loyal members in the House and the Senate based on how competitive those races were and other factors.
I thought Flake had big problems with Trump.
Yeah, it's funny. What happened to that? It seems in the rearview mirror at the moment.
Well, Flake also may have a tough GOP primary coming up as well.
Yeah, that might be something to do with it as well. So, you know, we saw pretty solid support for the president among Republicans, but it was remarkable to see Martha McSally in particular in the House. 100% voting record, and that did not include the health care bill that never made it to a vote.
So, Mary Jo, Secretary of State Michele Reagan had big plans for transparency on donations and so forth, campaign donations, something we love in our business. What's happened with it?
Her plans for a See the Money website have yet to be seen, or the website has. She spent about $500,000 on a contract. It hasn't happened yet. She said, well, asked why, she said, well, I decided to bring the work in-house, and then there's, you know, all this coding we've got to do, and also there are changes that have to be made because of campaign finance law changes that happened last year. These are changes that her office championed. It's going to probably take another $1 million and the better part of this year to get this done.
And what could we see at the end of it? What would we
so you'll be able to see, we'll be able to track all of Ron's contributions to any political cause, from governor to initiative to his constable race, all in one fell swoop instead of having to go to individual sites, which, you know, could be a great benefit. But this has been promised since 2014, and we're going to get it in 2018.
So, Dan, the Supreme Court nominee is coming up for vote, Gorsuch, and this might be the end of the filibuster.
Or at least maybe one of the final nails in the coffin of the filibuster. Obviously, the filibuster isn't what it used to be. They got rid of it for a few years ago for cabinet nominees and most judicial appointments, most of the president's executive calendar, as they call it. They left it intact for the Supreme Court nominees. We're going to see that go away this week, probably. Even kind of senators who've been in the past moderate on the issue of the filibuster, like John McCain and Jeff Flake, are on board with nuking it. So I think it's a pretty sure bet that we're going to see the end of it for the Supreme Court nominees this week.
And that's simply because they can't get more than 51, or they can't get 60 votes, the filibuster threshold, just for people who aren't familiar with that.
Right, and so it's still going to be intact for legislation for now, but you got to believe there's going to be a lot of pressure to get rid of the filibuster for legislation once it becomes clear that President Trump is going to have trouble getting his agenda through the Senate as well.
So this week, what are you watching for, Mary Jo?
The proposal to ban teen texting while driving's in trouble.
Interesting. Dan?
And in the U.S. Senate, it's all Gorsuch all the time, so let's see how many Democratic votes, if any, the nominee gets on his confirmation vote.
There's some rumors that health care might be back in Congress, so we'll see what happens with that. Ron?
I'm interested in what, if any kind of breakthrough might be going on with the state budget. We'll see if there's any kind of stalemate or any movement.
Lots to watch for. Check back next week.